Hi and welcome back to my channel. So for today's look, I created this halo eye, which I've done before on my channel, but you guys really liked it, so I did another halo eye using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. And this was my first time using it, so I just winged it. And it's got some gorgeous shade. I really like my palette, it's really good. You can create like a warm smoky eye, a plum, a red, a basic brown smoky eye. So you got different options with this palette, so I definitely think that it's worth the money. So if you want to see how I created this look by just using this baby right here, then keep on watching. So I never apply primer on my face because they don't work well with my skin. So what I do, I use moisturizers that has a good amount of glycerin in it, which helps the makeup stay on for a long period of time. And for foundation, I'm going to use the MAC Studio Fix Fluid in the shade NC37. I usually apply this foundation with a brush like this one, like a buffing brush. But today I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge, and I'm going to spray it with some Jane Ardell hydrating spray to give me a more dewy finish. A lot of people think that this Studio Fix Fluid foundation is too heavy or full coverage, but if you use the right amount, it can actually look really natural. So as you can see, it gives a really natural finish, but I'm actually a little bit more tan, so I'm gonna to warm up my face a little bit, I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Glam Bronze Cushion de Soleil. This is like the cushion foundation, but they did a bronzer now for spring and summer. So I've got dark circles, so I'm going to use two concealers. I'm going to start off by using the L'Oreal. This concealer is really good if you have really dry skin. It hydrates and covers as well. So and now to highlight, I'm going to use my NYX HD concealer. So I'm going to use it in the shade 04 Beige. I'm going to use the tip of the Real Techniques sponge. Now moving on to bronzer, I'm going to use the NYX Matte Bronzer in the shade Deep and with a Real Techniques multitask brush. So moving on to brows, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Medium Brown. I'm going to use that with a angled brush by MAC called 208. So then I take my MAC Prep and Prime highlighting pen. I use this to correct any mistakes that I've made. So moving on to priming my eyelids, I'm going to use a MAC paint pot called Soft Ochre. So moving on to the fun part, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette that just came out or recently came out. So I haven't touched this yet, I haven't even swatched this, so I'm just going to wing this look because I came with this dual brush with a blending brush and then a little bit more dense brush on the other side. So I'm actually going to give this brush a try, and I'm going to start off by applying a setting shade. I'm going to set the eyeshadow base with, I'm going to start off by applying this one over here, which is basically just a nude. Next, I'm going to use the color called Burnt Orange, and I'm going to use that same brush. Use the Makeup Revolution blending brush, taking more of that burnt orange. So I zoomed you in a little bit so that you can see better. I'm gonna take this one called Realgar. I cannot pronounce this one, I'm sorry. Which is a really nice orange. And I'm going to take that with a MAC 217 brush. And I'm going to use this to deepen the crease a little bit more. Just taking that brush that I used, burnt orange, and just blending a little bit. Taking some of that Realgar eyeshadow again. Just applying on the outer corner. So to save some time, I've already done one eye and I'm going to continue where I left off on this eye. So back with my 217 MAC brush, I'm going to use here this shade. And I'm going to take some of that and apply it to my inner corner. I'm going to take the brush that came with it and I'm going to use the shade called Red Ochre. And I'm going to apply this on the inner and outer corners of my eyes. And just bringing that into the crease as well. Then with that burnt orange 217 MAC brush, I'm just going to blend the edges. And then moving on to the center part of my lids, I'm going to use the shade Primvera. I'm going to take that on a flat brush from EcoTools. And I'm going to spray some Fix Plus to make it a little bit more metallic. And then to give the eye a little bit more depth, I'm going to use the shade called Cyprus Umber. Use a Badillium Tools 772 brush. And this color is really pigmented. And I'm blending with that brush that I used to apply Red Ochre. Taking some of that into the crease and on my inner corner and blending with that brush that I used, Red Ochre. Blend that dark brown in. Then going in with that blending brush and the burnt orange shade over here. Taking some of that Primvera eyeshadow with the same brush and just applying to the inner corners. Then taking a MAC 266 brush and using that Cyprus Umber dark brown shade to tightline my lash line. Now I'm just going to apply a black eyeliner to my waterline. Then I'm going to do the same process that I did with the crease on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take that burnt orange with the fluffy brush and just connect the upper lid with the lower lash line. Then I'm taking that shadow I can't pronounce, the orange one, with my 217 brush that I use for it on my crease. Then I'm taking that Red Ochre shadow with the brush that came in the palette. And I'm applying this close to my lash line. Then I'm taking my 266 brush that I use for my upper lash line. I'm going to use that really close to my lower lash line. Now I'm just going to apply some mascara. Then I'm going to apply the Ardell Demi Whispy with my House of Lash Glue in black. So now that the eyeshadow is done, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Golden Sugar 2 palette, which has got some amazing highlighters in it. I'm going to use the gold one over here. And for blush, I'm going to use this one also from Makeup Revolution. So for my lips, I'm going to use the NYX Lingerie in Bedtime Flirt and the NYX Lip Pencil in Nude Beige. So here's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Please don't forget to subscribe and